for the shade can't stop my life. MCM fit the body up nice. All black men's making man look twice. Self love. Dope stay blessed and I think up above. You hear this? She thinks she the shit. Post take a flick. Yes, I'm full of it.
All right. Okay. Hey, Pro Mamas. Welcome back to the Pro Mama space. So happy you can make it today. Let me tell you about the Pro Mama I have on the show today. This is one of my original mentors. Now, back in the day, while I was at Hofstra University, I was actually pursuing a career in broadcast journalism, and I knew I wanted to be in a creative space in some way. I was interviewing at Sony. I was interested in photography and production. And Tricia Messeroux-Curwen gave me my first shot as an assistant and her intern just off of me expressing interest. And I am forever grateful for that. Even though I didn't end up in that space full time, I learned a lot about work ethic. I learned about the hustle and hard work. So I'm so excited for this full circle moment to have Tricia Messeroux-Curwen on the Pro Mama Pod. Hey,
Hi.
right, Tricia. So here's what we do on Pro Mama. I love when my Pro Mamas come and you run your own resume because you can tell your story the best. So start with your Pro Mama stats. Give us some info about who you are as a Pro Mama. That means how many children you have, the ages, and who you are. I knew I'd give a little hint, but who you are in your professional life, what you do currently, your past, your career journey.
Okay. All right. Hi, Pro Mamas. Okay. So my name is Tricia Messeroux-Curwen. A lot of people call me T-Mez. That's my nickname. So my street name, right? Over there. So,
You see it right there.
okay. So, so T-Mez Tricia. And I have two daughters and a son. No, I'm just kidding. That's my husband. But I have two daughters. He's going to kill me. But so I have my gosh, 15-year-old. Her name is Sunday. She's in high school. She's a sophomore. She's got great personality, really beautiful girl, inside and out. She's an athlete. She's played almost every sport in the world, but now she's focusing on soccer, and she loves the media. So she's really getting into the media space, and we'll talk about that in a minute, right? And then I have my daughter Skylar. Skylar is 20. Yes, I have a 20-year-old. That part.
Okay.
So
first of all, I remember when she was little. So that part.
Okay. You're like all grown and stuff, like disrespectful. So
no. I don't believe you. No.
Yeah, a whole adult. I'm like, what are you trying to do to me? Anyway, so she is a junior, believe it or not, at St. John's University. She is pre-med bio, my future doctor, and she's amazing. Both girls are really amazing. They keep me busy. My husband, we call him Mr. Fantastic. That's his street name. And he's awesome. He's in the corporate world. He thinks he's creative, but that's because by association, really. And so a little bit of history about my career. I've always been in the creative space. I started out in advertising. So I started creating brands and building brands and repositioning brands for global advertising agencies like Saatchi & Saatchi, in Rubicam, you name it. So a lot of the commercials that you see on TV, you've probably seen a lot of my work, from Cheerios to Nabisco to Kraft to you name it. It's just the list is long when it comes to my brands that I've worked with. And I've worked with lots of celebrities, from Halle Berry, Shaquille O'Neal, the Manning brothers, football, Al Roker.
The list is
Venus
long.
and Serena Williams, like the list is long. So fast forward, what I started to do, and this is a mama thing, right? So when I was in advertising for the first 15 years, I lived out of a suitcase, literally lived out of a suitcase, traveled all over the world, which was great. But my daughter, Skylar, the first one, when she turned 3 years old, I felt like she didn't know me. I honestly felt like she didn't know who I was. I remember coming home from China, from a shoot in China, and I was gone for 2 weeks. So happy to see her. And she looked at me like she saw me yesterday. She's like, hey, what's up? Like, you know what I mean? So, and it crushed me because I was like, she doesn't know me. And I had mothering to do. I wanted to be present. I wanted to be a mother to her and not just, phone and all that stuff and what have you. So that's when I made the change and made my own pivot into creating my own space and keeping the creative thing going, but I still have my own business. So my business is the T-Mezz Creative Group. It's a marketing group and production. So we do video production, movies, photography, content creation, building brands for clients and ourselves.
Awesome. So you kind of gave us a little teaser for the next question that I was going to get into, which is actually top of my list is how did you pivot from advertising into becoming an entrepreneur and then merging the family in that life,
Yeah.
in your creative vision?
Yeah. It takes a lot of drive and ambition. I was determined. When I say determined, I was determined because I know when you look around in this great, big, crazy world, you see all these successful people making it happen. Then you're like, and why can't I?
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like they're doing it.
yeah,
Who's to say that they don't have the magic wand or anything like that? They just went for it. So I wanted that. I wanted that. And I said to myself, you deserve it. You can do it. And it's all about drive. So what I started to do is what we used to call back in the moonlighting, like in the weekends. You're not going to get the, you start shooting in the
yes,
weekends, filming in the weekends, at late at night. If you could find a project to get involved in, all that stuff. So that built my portfolio. And then
yes.
after a while, I decided to do the leap. Okay. And I'll be honest with you, because I had my before I did the leap, I got fired from one of my I literally did
Because of your
because
moonlighting or just timing?
it was just very interesting because I started becoming really successful in what I was doing, with one of my brands, Hollywood, and they started seeing me all over TV and
Uh,
interviews and things like that and what have you. And then, I think something triggered, they didn't like it, and maybe they felt like I wasn't focused enough, and we just had to go our separate ways. But which was fine because that was able to free me actually to do what I wanted to do. And then as far as my family is concerned, yeah, I involved my family as of the past couple of years because social media has become the place where people can really express themselves, but also build their own empire. There's so many opportunities in digital space to make money, build
yeah.
wealth and include your family too. And I decided that, you know what, these guys are pretty cool, my family. Oh, they went for it. At first, they're just like, not again. No, actually, they're still doing that, but they're more acceptable now. And then they just go with it. So they like all the stuff. After complaining, they're like liking all the stuff. So,
I love that. Now, to rewind just a little bit, you talked about how during the transition and doing your moonlighting to get to your vision and your dream. Shout out to the one of the original Talent interns.
right.
I know how you said you were building your portfolio, and I know you leaned a lot on your community and your family on a lot of the projects that you do. When you create or have a vision, do you have the vision and then put them in, or do you create and then figure out who you can put in?
I would say that it's all strategy. So no matter what you do, you have to be very strategic about it. So I may have a vision as a creative. I'll say, you know what? I want to create this cooking show. Like I have a cooking show. So I want to create this cooking show, with men, teaching other men how to cook and all the stuff and all the pieces with it. It's a very different type of cooking show. And it's been doing really, really well. Immediately, I can't do it. Those big scale things, you can't do it by yourself. Right? So you have to include other people. So obviously my family and then really close friends, friends who want to see you win. So it's always really important to surround yourself with people who actually care about you and want to see you win and would love to be part of that process too. You know, the
Agreed.
who cheer for
Yeah.
you, the people who got your back, the people you can call at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning just to talk about whatever. Because those are the type of people that you need in your circle that you can work together and make things happen.
Awesome. I think that you just raised a really good point that when you're a mom and you have so much on your plate, it's so important to have folks around you that rally around
Yeah.
you and cheer for
Yeah.
you. So thinking about when you were traveling as a top level advertising exec to pivoting to entrepreneurship, who was in your village that really helped carry that parenting load besides Mr.
No, besides
Fantastic, of
Mr.
course?
I would say his sister was very involved because she lives not too far, and she's the type that should drop any and everything for her nieces. My sister was very involved, same thing, but she was a little bit out further, so she's not on Long Island, so she like is a little further. So it was always difficult for her, but she made her way, as best she could. So family is there, and then I had a couple of really really good friends. I have friends from even the sorority life who are my ride or dies. And if I call, or cousins, and if I call and say, I need you to pick up Skylar because the school's about to close and I can't get there in time. And oh my God, we've all been there. You
Yep.
miss the train, you're booking. Meanwhile, you're just like, who's gonna get my child? Can the train go fast?
You got
Why
a
won't
group text.
the big group text? Okay, you're in a meeting. Okay, somebody gonna get my child. So it was
Right.
always, those type of things. And I always found people who I can always count on. And then you feel bad, but not bad enough to leave your child. So you call them and then they support you. So it's really family, but it's also those close, close, close friends that you've known for, those ones that your kids call auntie. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
ones that they really live up to the word auntie. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so important for us to let our community, even not always the close people, like I let my colleagues know when things are
Hmm.
happening. So, for example, this week was my daughter's senior project. She's going into upper school, she's
Nice.
going to junior high school. And I spoke about how I would be out for the day or half day or working responsibly. And everyone was just so interested in how they could support. Even people that I felt like are not the closest to me, they were really interested in seeing me succeed and also seeing me provide the family time that I needed to support my child because they knew it was important to me. So I think we need to. I used to be afraid to share my mom life at work because I didn't want to be seen as someone who was prioritizing my family solely. But also, I'm okay with telling people my children are going to be there and they're always going to. I don't want to miss out on those moments because I'm focused on this project or this event because the event is going to come and go,
Yeah.
but then my kids will
Yeah, they
still be
have to be
here.
there and they have to know that they're fully
Exactly.
supported. I'll tell you when it comes to that, because obviously I come from the corporate world myself, right? When it comes to that, not everybody's as lucky as you, to have that type of support
Yeah, I
in the
recognize
work life,
that.
right? I mean, there was, I was senior executive and what have you, and the people who work for me, and I had a lot of people work for me, they're very supportive. Well, they kind of had to be. I'm the boss, but they're they're very supportive and they're just like, okay, yes, I get, and I'll follow up. And then I'd have to work at home after I pick them up. So I'm working till like the wee hours of the night. Right. But there was one agency that I worked for and the senior person above me, not so much. And, older, guy and what have you. And if I said it more than, two, three, four times, within a couple of months, it became a problem. Even though I always come with a solution, like, I'll be working the weekends. I'll make sure this project's done. We'll get ready for the shoot. But it's just they're a little bit more controlling. So that's always difficult when you're in those environments. And when you do need to rely on the other people, you know?
Yeah. Great point. Okay, let's talk about the family in the content creation business. So we talk about the future doctor we have on deck. I know she did dabble, Skylar. She dabbled in a little modeling. I don't know if that was interest or your portfolio building.
Hmm.
Is she still interested in the creative space? Or
Well, not as much. No, that's never been her thing. She enjoyed Toddwood for a long time because she was on TV a lot of times. And she made a lot of friends because, Toddwood is a lot, nothing but the kids. So she enjoyed Toddwood for a very long time. And then she started modeling, but, just small stuff, nothing really big. When it comes to her as, where she is right now, she's really focused on passing organic chemistry.
absolutely. All right, so let's pivot to Miss Sunday. Miss Sunday is hostess with the
Yeah.
mostest. Have you officially passed the baton? Because that used to be you as the who people called to host, but now I see Sunday all over my feed, and I love to see it because she's really
Yeah,
good.
she's really good. I still do hosting. And it's not a job. Like I just do it because organizations want me to, with the energy, so they want me to do all the stuff. But professionally, Sunday is more interested in media. But I'm not sure where she's gonna go with it. She's interested in journalism. She's a good writer. She's a good researcher. She researches everything almost to a fault. And she's good with the microphone. She's good with the microphone in front of her. She's gotten better and better. Now she's working with the United States Tennis Association. She's worked for Alpha, like all different organizations, interviewing interesting people. And she finds it very, very fulfilling. So we'll see where it goes with that. We'll see where it goes.
So, as a mom, and especially a mom in a field that Sunday is taking interest in, when do you know when to put on the career mentor hat, the mom hat? how do you know how to nurture these interests?
So that's very interesting because I've been posting a little bit about that. Whether they're in content creation or they're in whatever their interests, it's up to us as moms these days to start them early. Do not wait for them to be getting ready to go to college and think about finding an internship and thinking about, blah, blah, blah later on, whatever, because they're going to be left behind. This digital marketing world, this digital world, things are they're much faster now and you will be left behind. And this goes without saying with even medicine, anything. You have to start the Skylar, prime example, Skylar, she was interning in one of my girlfriend's dental office at 13 years old. 15 years old, she was at a GYN, 15, 16, and she was at GYN. I thought she was going to be answering the phone. She was just like, oh, no, we did pap smear. We did. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I'm my friends. And, so, you find a circle of people who, you can work and help each other to uplift your kids. So start them early, give them almost like a career now, so that by the time they get to college, they already have a resume. You know what I mean? They already have a focus. They already have something that they can say, hey, look at what I've done. Here you go. And then easy for them to get internships in college, easy for them to get travel abroad, blah, blah, blah. It just makes it better for them. So I did it with Skylar, with my friends and the medical world, which are interests. And with Sunday, I just throw her in there, and when it comes to the mommy hat versus the manager hat versus whatever, I am super, super nurturing. It's really important to empower them. You're wonderful. You're awesome. Let's pray, all the stuff to give them what they need to build their self-esteem. However, there are times where Sunday's getting paid to do something and I don't feel like it, or she did, that part. And that's when I have to put the manager hat and say, what you're going to do is
Honor
you're going to
that
honor
obligation.
it. Okay. I'm not going to mother you for everything. This is when momager comes into place and I'm going to teach you something. You're going to put on the face. Okay. You're going to hold the mic. You're going to take a deep breath, do some jumping jacks, and you're going to figure this out. Okay. And then afterwards, I will treat you to whatever you want, take a nap, do whatever you want. But we are here and they're relying on you, So that's when you can't coddle them all the time. You absolutely can't coddle them all the time. You have to give them tough love and tough love at the same time.
Okay, I'm taking notes on that
Mhm.
one. But one thing that I think about is knowing you and knowing how you are when you are in work mode, right? If you have a vision and you want something a certain way, you want it executed in the T-Mez
Right.
way. So, but I'm sure that daughters of yours also have
Right.
very strong
Right.
opinions. So how do you balance the encouraging them to advocate for their vision while still respecting your position as momager?
Right.
Are you welcoming the advocacy or are you shutting it down?
For a while, I was leading because some ideas were like kind of crazy. I mean, no. So, sometimes they're just like, what if we, and I'm like, how exactly are we going to do it? So, I have to teach, right? So teach so that they can get to a place. Now, Sunday, she loves to cook. We're launching her cooking show. We've been shooting her cooking show for the past couple of months. We're launching,
Okay.
my whole family's like at the cooking bit. So we're
I
launching.
see. We're going to get to
Yeah,
that.
so we're watching her cooking show, I think in 3 weeks, I wanna say. She's older now. She's 15. She's older now. She's seen a lot. She's followed me all my career and what have you. So now I told her, yes, you're the host of the show. I need you to produce your show.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna be the camera person. I'll direct you where I feel directing, but so we'll shoot. She'll say something, or I'll say something. I said, oh, why don't you move this and why don't you talk about this? And she's like, no, I don't think so. What I think we should do is da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, shutting up.
Yeah.
So now it's like you are grown. Now you need to lead your life because what we're not going to do as moms is to always hold your hand. You see this apron? Get your hand off my apron. Okay. And then be a leader like now.
Love that. So, of course, in this day and age, my son has big personality. And he's like, I want a YouTube channel. I'm going to stream all day. A content plan. He's like, I just want to turn I'm like, no, baby. There's strategy. When are you going to film your content? When are you going to
Mhm.
edit? What are your ideas? What? And he's just like, forget it. And I'm like, well, when you're ready with that
Yeah,
information, come back to me. It's not just about turning on the camera. Sure, you can just turn on the camera, but if we're going to do a thing, we're going to do
do
a
it then.
thing.
He has to
So,
he's gotta be ready to talk about what the show's about,
yep,
his intro, "Hey, this is something, the whole thing.
yep. And his thing is a lot of that comes natural to him. So he thinks that it's like he's just gonna wing it, which he's done
Sure.
plenty. But then I'm like, okay, what's the plan? So it's great that you're showing what it really takes. On camera talent, great. Now let's get into what needs to be done with production. See how long it takes to edit something so they can have the real experience, like you said, prepping them for the future. Like as someone who, I've worked with different students, especially working in higher ed, I get an opportunity to work with a lot of young adults sometimes. And every time I meet a student, they come in with a different type of skill level. Some who don't know how to order takeout because they've never had to do it, or some who have never made a pot of coffee because it's like, I don't know how to use a regular pot. Where's the Keurig? So when I think about the skills that we teach our kids, just regular day to day, and the things that they can literally transfer into the workplace, like making a plan, making an agenda for your workflow, project management,
Yeah,
all those types of things,
yeah.
something clicks later when you're in the workplace and someone asks you to do something and you can just jump in. Oh yeah, no problem. I used to do calendars for my mom, or I used to be able to, yeah, I can write a quick summary. I can read that. They underestimate it. And so they get to that space and they're like, I went to this thing and they asked me to do it. And I knew how to do it
Yeah,
because you used to make me copy your notes when you had a
exactly
meeting or
right. That's what
something.
I mean by start them now, start them
Yep.
right now. I mean, there are lots of kids who may graduate college and they don't know how to do PowerPoint, or they don't know how to it's like you
Yes.
have to get them in there now. Just because school is not teaching it does not mean that they don't need it. Like you need to,
Right.
increase their stock. Like make sure that their credentials are greater than the next person, next person's resume. You know what I mean? So those skills mean a lot.
Yes. Ah, awesome. All right. We're talking about the T-Mezz family and how they are cooking up a storm. Let's transition into talking about Mr. Fantastic and how it is creating with your partner. Like you said, he's a corporate dude. How do you get him in front of a camera?
The good thing about him being a corporate dude and who he is, he's got a big personality. So he's able, and he's that guy. He's just like, you can walk into a room and he already that's totally him. So putting the camera in front of him, so he's doing it right now. It's him and his best friend. And then they invite other guys into the kitchen and they do the whole thing. Working with him it's interesting because he is my biggest supporter for everything, right? No matter what I've done, Todd with this, that, and the other thing. But now he's literally part of it, you know? So Todd would have had my girls and now I'm having him in. So he's literally part of it. So he's not only supporting, but he's also the talent. And so he usually takes everything really, really well. Everything's pretty smooth. Sometimes he'll disagree with me or he'll be like, oh, yeah, I think you need to reconsider this or whatever. But it's not that difficult. It's a lot of work, but he's very, very supportive. So he's that guy that's really trying and making sure that like this goes someplace. So
Yeah.
that's the good part about having the cooking show. The other great part about having the cooking show is that he cooks.
That was the set.
It's a total step. It's a total step. So, and what he does, what he learns on the show, because his friend cooks better than him, he can bring it home.
So the ultimate cheat code is that he's cooking for the show and bringing it back because his friend is teaching him,
Yes,
right?
yes. I mean, he already knows how to cook, but his friend cooks better. So when they cooking on the show, I'm a very happy girl because one, I have the meal, but two, he's learned something and he just gets better and better as a cook. So, so the name of the show is called Foods and Dudes, and he is really right. As far as like being an executive producer, a producer, he's fully involved. And I absolutely love the fact that we can work together and do this together as a family.
I love that you bring that up because, you might think you're just creating content with the girls or Mr. Fantastic, but I just want you to see it's a beautiful thing to see a Black family in the media. Do you ever think about how you're impacting how society views the modern family or the modern Black family, so to speak?
I hope so because, we are just like everybody else. We are, but we're not afraid to put ourselves out there, right? Because it can be kind of like scary or uncomfortable or what have you. But we're very comfortable in our own skin and we want to keep everything positive, right? So when we keep things positive, and then we're not talking about, negative stuff or anything like that, but we're trying to empower people or learn or show joy, give joy, the content that we have on my other page is nothing but laughter and enjoyment. We are hoping that we're inspiring people to just be joyful, but also to look at this, Black family who, really support each other, love each other, and, just do things together. We're all different, but we can show up and just really have a good time. Life is way too short. Things happen to people all the time. And I think people need to realize that, you know what, you are blessed with a family, you are blessed with a significant other, a children, nurture them, love them, do all the things and give them everything that you got but don't forget to give yourself the same thing. Because a lot of people, and I've had this a lot of people have children and they don't know how to be this mom who gives the children everything, but also not take too much away from them. Like fine if that's what you want to do and sacrifice yourself until your kids graduate. But in this day and age, you don't have to do that, and it's great for your kids to see you and your drive and what you're doing because that encourages them as well.
Okay, this goes into what I was going to say next. All right, you have the family in almost your day-to-day creation, your day-to-day vision of your brand. But what are you doing, T-Mez alone, outside of Mr. Fantastic, outside of the girls? What do you hope to build
What do I hope to build?
or continue
I'll continue
building?
building.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I have going on. So I have my business and I have these wonderful clients that I have, long-term contracts with, right? And that's going great. The digital marketing, social media content, building their businesses and what have you. And a couple of them are women and they're women with, with children, grown, what have you, and they decided to pivot. One of them is just wants to be this big time yoga person, instructor, but you always have to come up with, don't just, post, yoga moves, come up with a big idea that will elevate her and get her to the next place. So these are the type of things that I like to see happen with my clients. And production, I shot a movie. My movie's doing great. I'm about to shoot my next movie and really excited about that. And I just got asked to do a documentary. So that is amazing. When it comes to my big focus also is foods and dudes. So where we're taking foods and dudes is, bigger platforms. We're trying to make foods and dudes similar to, let's say, Culture Con, Afrotech, like those big cons, right? So we have everything laid out, what have you. So by this summer, we are going to have our first con. It's called Savor Con by Foods and Dudes. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. Lots and lots and lots of stuff that's going to happen with it. So very excited about that. Building that as a brand, as an empire, everything that goes with it. When we put content out there, it's the branded deals, partnerships, affiliate marketing, everything you can imagine on social media, but also taking it to the experiential world, as you know, with events and what have you. So lots going on.
When is the book coming? Like, when are you going to teach us to do it all? Because my mind is completely blown. When you have friends and you know what they do, but then you kind of don't. But then when you speak to them, you're like,
Wow.
wow, that's a lot. Like, when no one asks my mom where I work or what I do, because she's going to be like, the school. No one can,
The
she never
school.
knows the exact, she works at the place and
Building over
she
there.
has parties,
She does parties.
But
Thanks, Mom.
say that to say is we have friends or we have people in our lives and you don't really sit and take in all that they're doing. Like, this is pretty amazing. It's not that I'm
Right.
surprised. I'm just more like, how do you do it all? I don't want to say impressed. I'm more floored because I'm like,
I know. You know
that's a
what it is?
lot.
The cool thing about it is what keeps my drive going is communication. So I talk to my family a lot about what's in my head. So if I keep it in my office and in my head and what have you, I will like lose my mind. But almost every day I have, you know, at night or in the morning, I talk to Sean. I'm just like, this is what we did today. This is what I'm about to do. So can you help doing this and reach out to your other that does this and da da da. We need sponsors, blah, blah, blah. Good. He's like, bet. So he does his part. Sunday's great at brainstorming. So I'll say, oh, this is what I want to do, what have you. She'll come up with a concept, or because she's very creative, you know? And then Skylar, she's just the very most supportive thing. So she'll hear things. She'll let me know what she likes or what she doesn't like. You know, and that's kind of her position about stuff, you know? So I keep them involved. So even if it's not like the hands-on stuff to build it, but they're literally involved, you know, in the development of it, and that's what's really important to me.
Awesome. So, what's the most rewarding thing by looking through the lens and seeing your family at the other end?
Oh my gosh, you know what it is? It's the time we spend together. Remember when I first started telling you about my world? I was living out of a suitcase and I was traveling the world, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, you travel the world? That's amazing!" Every continent you can think of, I was probably there. Every country, right? And while it's wonderful, it's not so wonderful for me because a lot of people do it and they do it great. But for me, it didn't work for me when my daughter, you know, and I didn't have that relationship. You know what I mean? And it was not so much her, it was more me, you know? And now that I look back and I will go and look at all my content that was created on my page, and I see all the ones that we're having fun, we're dancing, we're laughing, we're cooking, we're joking, we're pranking each other, we're doing all the stuff. And if I put that into like a little movie, it's everything for me. It's everything for me. So it's just all those moments. And while they are made for TV, but you don't see the behind the scenes of making them. You know what I mean? Like when I force my husband to dance and and he has to learn the routine and he's really conscious. He's like, you know, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Why do you have to get me dance? And then he'll go, all right, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, this left or right? And it's just like the behind the scenes is out of control.
Oh, I can't wait to get that B-roll. Oh yeah, save that. Keep that in the Man, so much from this conversation that I don't want to leave without giving everyone the gems that they need from you. All right, we're gonna get into your Pro Mama essentials. We are gonna ask you first for a Pro Mama tip. So, what is your favorite Pro Mama hack? It could be I make sure to, like you said earlier, share my agenda of my day with the girls so they can know when to expect me or when I'm going to be in town or not. Or it could be having the girls help with meal prep. Everyone will have a meal for the week. Anything that makes parenting easier, if that is even a
Thing.
thing.
Yeah, a thing. Okay, so I have a hack and a tip, right? So my hack is people gonna probably think I'm crazy. So my girls, ever since I think Skylar was 14 years old, when she started, you know, leaving the house more or what have you, they have to text me their every move. It's crazy. So Sunday we'll say, "Mommy, I'm on the bus." Okay, great. "Mommy got to school." Okay, great. "Mommy, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts with my friends." Great. "Mommy, me and my friends, we're gonna stop by Applebee's on the way home." Great. She cannot go to other places that I don't know without her texting me because I need to know exactly where she is. I can like 360. Yes, we do like 360, but I need her to have the responsibility of communicating with me if she's going to veer from what's going on. Skylar did the same thing when she was younger.
Which was
Exactly. Now that she's older, she doesn't do it as much. But if she's doing something big or she happens to have be in an Uber, you know, she will FaceTime me and things like that. So they know how to communicate with. So that's my hack. I teach them that they need to communicate with me and they'll
Yeah, that's a great practice because, like you said, even when they get older, I told my mom today, I speak to her every day. She's like, we don't speak every day. I'm like, we must
we
certainly
most
do speak
certainly
every day.
we most certainly do.
So it is a good practice. I love
Yep.
that. All right, back to no, sorry about that.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and then my tip, I don't know if it's a hack or a tip. One thing that I do is I make the quality time with each of the girls individually. No cameras, no content, no anything. It's the time that they can tell me anything. I cannot get mad. It is a safe space. I cannot bring it back up later. No
Oh, this
prejudice.
is
It
good.
is the time for them to be completely honest with me and put it on the table so that I can give them advice and reprimand them nicely or to tell them, to like guide them basically. You know what I mean? Guide them to where it needs to be. But this is their chance to completely be honest, and I will not get mad, nor will I bring it up later.
I love that creating a safe space,
Mhm.
and just keeping that door open. I think is very
Yeah.
important. I was saying that. I tell Harper, my daughter, I actually tell both of them, like, I know you have friends, but I want to be your very best friend. Like, when I want you to know you could tell me things, even if you think I'm gonna get disappointed and mad, I still want you to feel like you can always come to me and tell
Exactly.
me. So that is an amazing tip. And I had to learn as a mom of two as well, the one-on-one time is important because it makes them feel super
Special.
focused on and special.
Hmm.
Yes, I didn't really realize that, especially, when life is lifing, I was like focused on like doing the best of what I got. I'm a single
Yeah,
mama.
yeah.
But it's like, you know what? Even if it's like, so I started saying mommy and Harper time or Hudson and mommy time. Even if it's going to Dunkin' Donuts or walking to the deli, they love
Absolutely.
it. Like, mom bought me a gum. I got a pack of gum because you did not go to the deli. Because we had mommy and Harper time, and then Harper's like, I went to Starbucks and I got,
Oh,
and
God,
they like to warm
you
each other up, but they respect it that they each
at
have their
each
own time.
time.
They're always listening to who did
Did
what.
what?
On
Trying to one up on each other.
trying to one up. Okay, enough about them. Let's focus on you. Tell me about what you love to do for self-care. All about
When
you, all about feeding yourself and filling your bucket. What is your act of
my
self-care?
act of self-care, you know what, I talk about quality time, but my own quality time. So I have quality time with my girls, my husband, but I have my own quality time. So I need to get away. So sometimes it could be I get reflexology because, the massaging of the feet, a lot of your nerves and your tension, it comes from your foot, right? And I was going through a very tough time once, and my friend put me onto it, and it was the best thing ever. Or this happened once or twice, I think, where I really needed. I wasn't going on vacation or whatever, but I needed to go someplace. I was super overwhelmed, and my family understood it. So literally, I went to a hotel a couple miles away. Got a suite, went to the hotel, got myself a glass of wine, watched movies, got the big pillows, laid out, chilled, and it was the best ever because I forgot that I was even in New York because it just was like I needed it. That's why I got the suite because I just needed a whole new place to really decompress.
Oh, I
And
love
then I
that.
refreshed myself, and then I was back. So I need my own quality time.
You're like the second or third person. Another friend of mine, I'm actually doing brunch with her in a few weeks. She's coming into the city. I'm like, oh, what are you coming in for? She's like, I'm momcation. I'm like, what? She's like, I need time away from my family.
And that's fast. Like that's fast. Don't sleep on that. I need a vacation
She's
away
like,
from
oh
these
no, it's
people.
okay. I do it once. Oh, she's like, I do it once a year. I'm just getting a hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might do something. I might not. She was
You
like, I
don't even have
decided I
to
do
do
want to meet
anything,
with.
you know?
Yeah, that's what she said. She was like, I decided I wanted to meet with a few people that are important to me, and I happened to make the cut. Shout out to Bree.
If they want
I
the
was like,
best of you, you need to find the
yep.
best of you, So that means that you may need to step away for a minute, regroup yourself and then come back. But if you're constantly grinding, you're constantly whatever, and then and then they gotta eat. And I'm just like, didn't you eat yesterday? Like what the heck? I always gotta feed you.
All the time. Like, y'all eat
Just
too
ate
much.
last night.
Non-negotiable when it comes to your career and motherhood journey, whether that be your kids have to be welcomed into certain spaces or whether that means your career comes at career won't be compromised because of family
Right.
life. Like, what is something that you feel like is a
As
non-negotiable?
when it comes to my career.
Career and motherhood, like both.
Right. So I feel like whatever I do, I need to make sure that it's going to one be okay with God and be okay with my kids. So, and I say that because, I've had a lot of opportunities. I've even been asked to, be in a reality show, my own reality show. And, after reading the fine print and all that stuff, I was like, people sign this thing? Because, and at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I could have all this fame and all this money with this reality show, what have you. But at the end of the day and reading all the stuff, people sign away their lives. And they literally say that they can edit to fix something to make it to look like actually did not happen the way it actually did, right? So I need to make sure that whatever I do, whatever I shoot, whatever I create, that God is going to say, I approve, you know? And then I need my girls to be proud of me and to be able to to be able to walk the street and not be ashamed. You know what I mean? Or be on the internet and not say, "Oh, that's your mom who did such and such." You know what I mean? So I need to protect them and I need to protect my relationship with God. And that's non-negotiable.
Absolutely love that. And I feel like that is a perfect note to end on because when people go into things with having no non negotiable, you'll fall for anything. And
Absolutely.
the glitz, the
Yeah.
glam,
Yeah.
and just bringing faith into it, you could have stopped
You're
right
gonna shut
there.
a lot
I
of
checked
things
with God
down.
first. You could have just stopped right there. But I think that is especially you in the space that you're
It's
in. We hear
so
about the
easy
creative
to
space, and it's
laugh.
so easy to just like fall for anything or just be so excited for your big break. Like as a podcaster, I tell everyone I'm $1 million podcaster.
That's right.
So
That's right. Your $1,000,000
because
podcast.
I'm $1 million podcaster,
Yeah.
right? So as I am working towards my bigger break or my big
Mhm.
break, I too have to keep in mind what are non-negotiables for me, whether it be how involved my kids are, or how much I speak about my kids and their personal life. Because I don't also want them to go archival in 20 years and be like, Mom, you was talking about my 5th grade project in my mindful. And I love the people in my community because I've gotten great feedback from just my village. Like, don't share, like you shared a little bit too much about yourself in that one episode. Maybe just let the guests talk.
Gotcha.
Good note,
Gotcha.
things that I didn't really
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah.
But that non-negotiable was T.
See.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
This can't be the
Yeah.
last.
No,
And
of
can I
course.
say how honored I am? Like,
This
the
was
time
awesome.
went so fast. And just knowing the amount of people who you work with, how important your time is, the fact that you were able to jump on and join the Pro
You
Mama
asked me. This
family.
is so good.
I think like I'm just like pinch myself moment. I'm also nervous because as my own mentor, I'm like, she's gonna red line. She's gonna give me some notes.
No, I'll
Gonna give me
behave. I'll behave. I'll behave. No.
intern, but she
Yeah.
always had notes. So I'm okay. I'm ready for the
Okay.
notes because I'm learning, we're building this
No.
$1 million Pro Mama
$1,000,000 Pro
empire.
Mama.
I'm actually going to tap into you on how to continue to brand my
Yes.
Pro Mama empire. So we'll talk about that at next level. But so happy and continue sharing those gems because they'll get it here, but you have so much. And I hope you know
Aw,
that.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are one of the mamas in business that I watch, and I realized it could be done
Yes.
because I watched you
Yep.
do it, and I see that. So thank you for that, and thank you for always being transparent and always having the girls on your hip,
Yep.
even when you were doing big
Yep.
things.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you.
This won't be the last.
Good.
All right, thanks, Pro Mama. We'll see you next time, and thanks for tuning in.